Now, to talk more about that, we've been joined by Dr. Mohammad Farooq. He's a consultant oncologist. Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq, to have joined us. Dr. Saab, we've already talked on one of our previous shows as well, but nevertheless, it's a breast cancer awareness month, and we need to tell our audience time and again what is the importance of this crippling disease in Pakistan. And I was showing the statistics to our viewers, and those statistics are very important for a country like Pakistan. Why is it that the number of cases in Pakistan is the most in Asia?
I think the reasons could be multiple, but the most important is the ignorance and lack of self-care. So any individual who is in the world, one of its obligation is to keep himself or herself healthy. Breast cancer is on the run, I would say, because our women are more dedicated towards their family systems. They take care of their kids,
They don't take care of themselves.
Absolutely. The only thing they don't do is they don't take care of themselves. So it's just 10 minutes a month maybe at the end of your menstrual cycle, maybe 2 or 3 days away. All you have to do is look at yourself, not only breast, every part of your body.
If you see a lump, especially in the area of the breast, we need to be very, very careful and go to the doctor immediately.
Absolutely. Apart from lump, you can have nipple changes, discharge, blood coming from the nipple, redness of the, or sometimes skin peel like orange peel. So that's a sign.
Tell me, Dr. Saab, is it something that is genetic? Do women whose mothers or grandmothers or somebody in the family has gotten breast cancer are more susceptible to getting it?
Absolutely. 5 to 10% of breast cancers are hereditary. That means they run in the family. So you have to look into the history of any female who has a breast cancer, like your nani, dadi, your khalas, your popos, your aunts.
And of course, we are a social system when we know so many.
Absolutely. And your siblings, your sisters, your first and second cousins. Or if you have a prostate cancer in a man at a younger age, these are all signs that you need genetic
Dr. Saab, there's another thing. Coming to men, I've heard that breast cancer also affects men.
Yeah, absolutely. 1% of cases are breast cancers involving men, so they're not exempt. So they have all those signs which females have.
All right.
Apart from a lump in the breast, you can always have a lump in the armpit.
All right.
Or in the lower neck. So if you have these lumps and they don't go away, you need.
Is there an age bracket, Dr. Saab, after which you need to be very, very careful and self-inspect yourself very regularly?
Absolutely. If you are 25 years and above, you should start examining yourself. You should know what is your normal so that you are able to detect the abnormality. There is a recommendation that every 3 months doctor should examine you, which could be a female gynecologist, oncologist, surgeon. And I think in Pakistan, despite being a third world country, there are lots of female doctors around. And in America, there is a yearly mammography starting at the age of 40 years.
All right.
And that is done every year, as I said. But in the NHS, which is UK, it's done every 3 years. And if you find a lump, that needs to be biopsied. That means you have to put a needle and take the tissue out and confirm it under the microscope. So
what are the different stages, Dr. Saab, of breast cancer?
Yeah, usually cancers have 4 stages. So for when you're talking about a female breast cancer, when the disease is confined to the breast, that's usually stage 1. When it enlarges a little more or goes into the armpit in one of these armpit glands, that's stage 2. When the size becomes quite bigger or the number of these glands become higher, that's stage 3.
All right.
And unfortunately, stage 4, which we frequently see in our clinics, despite being in 2020, 30% of our patients are coming in stage 4, where the disease has disseminated through blood vessels or lymphatics into the bones, brain, lung, liver. You name it, any place.
Because Dr. Saab, you see people from different communities, from the very poor to the very rich as well. What is the commonality of the reasons due to which people do not understand or catch the disease at its onset?
Well, there are lots of issues. One is ignorance, the other one is negligence, third is denial, fourth is fear, what if it comes out to be, And fifth is our religious and social beliefs, our cultural values. Females tend to shy away from talking to, people about their breast or their well-being.
But I mean, there are so many women gynecologists they could easily talk to.
They need to know this, that if there is a problem talking to a male doctor. There are so many females, not only in the private sector, also in the public sector. So I think they should be on the forefront.
Dr. Saab, what about the women in the rural community? Are there, I mean, we have so many women there, and sometimes they do not have access to a good gynecologist or a good doctor. What is the advice that you'd like to give them?
Well, look, again, the part of cancer prevention is primary prevention. What we are doing today is educating the community. So if you just listen to the phone, when you make a phone call during this month, you have this message coming up that this is a pink month.
I think on all the networks there is this message.
Networks. So this is the first time in the history of Pakistan that this has been done on a government level. So again, we have to empower the basic health units. This is a country which has marvelous resources. So every village has a basic health unit. So there are lady health visitors around there. There are polio vaccine people who are going visiting door to door. It's beyond doctors to go into each house and ask for their woman to come and make their breast examined. So for these people, they should be empowered, they should be taught, and this is all done at the level of
Dr. Saab, there are one or two things that I'd like to ask you. A, does your diet have anything to do with the aggravation of a cancer, or your lifestyle, I mean stress?
Yeah, thank you for that question. As I said, only 5 to 10% of cancers run in the family as hereditary. The rest of them are all acquired, and that acquirement is through your habits. So, for instance, you smoke, do shisha, use oral contraceptives, do not feed your child. So that's your lifestyle. Again, coming to your diet, a rich cholesterol diet, sedentary life when you're not accustomed to walking or training yourself, not keeping up with your normal body mass index. These are all, reasons for a woman to have a breast cancer, because breast cancer is basically estrogen-driven cancer.
All right.
So estrogen is actually derived from the cholesterol, which comes from the fat.
All right. So you need to be very careful on what you eat and what you drink and what you smoke as well.
Absolutely.
In this day and age, 2020, because this is what you said, and this is my last question to you, Dr. Saab, when people have access to social media, when people have access to the internet, on a drop of a button, you can get access to different hospitals across the world. And if you want symptoms of breast cancer, you just have to write it down on your phone or on your computer, and you get all the symptoms. Why are still people not understanding the importance of a disease that can be cured if it is caught at the onset?
Absolutely. Again, it's the lack of interest for self-being, Women need to understand that their survival is very important. With 51% of our population being female, they are the mothers who would educate the next generation. So their well-being is very important. So education is one. Health access is second. Knowing about the disease, and then ability to explore where to find the answers. That's the third one, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Mohammed Farokh, to have joined us, ladies and gentlemen.